it's like you can hustle and break out of the jail for the rest of your life. But the moment you break out of the jail, you've broken yourself into another jail. That's hustle. Okay, let me just repeat that, because if there's anything that I want you to take away from my video this morning, it's that in my world, coming from a sales background for a very long time, and just there was get to 10K, get to 20, get to 30K a month, get to 40, 50, 60, and just keep going, right, in income. And what I found out was at each level, 10K, there was the 10K jail. There was like a certain amount of emotion and stuff that was driving that. But what broke me out of 10K got me into the 20K jail. And then what broke me out of the 20K jail broke me into the 30K jail. And the feelings and thoughts and things and the heaviness only gets bigger. The key gets harder to find. The bars get thicker. Sometimes if you had an office and you had staff to that and it's driven from that place, the bars might have electricity, and every time you touch it, you get shocked, right? So that's hustle. That's what, in my world, that's what hustle basically meant and did to me. It's like I'm constantly putting myself in as a prisoner, breaking into a bigger and harder jail to escape. Okay. What it took to actually leave that was to sit back and first understand my heart. Like, one thing I learned about the hustle culture is that was not the heart. That was not what I really wanted. That was literally just self-imposed shit from society saying, Jordan, you got to be here by 23, 24, 26. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to look like this, and you got to be motivated all the time. You got to take the photo for Instagram, put it on your story, speak a certain way and sell it. It's fucked, right? It's fucked. That's not your heart. That's like thoughts and feelings taking over. So breaking out of that, it's taken me like 2 years, man. This pretty much coincides with the whole nomad journey. And that's another topic. You can feel free to watch my other video, the reality of being a digital nomad, if you want to learn about that journey. But the reason I went on that travel was, it was basically to sit and feel all my dysfunctional patterns that pushed me to hustle. So the first phase of me leaving that was like sitting back and going, shit, man, I'm just in a constant state of anxiety. Like for months, it was like, dude, what are we doing? Well, how are we going to make money? What's happening? I'm not the guy that makes all this cash anymore. I'm not the guy with the office. I'm not the guy with the business. Shut down the business. I don't have this thing. Who am I? Right? I went through this big identity crisis where I'm going, I don't know who the fuck Jordan is, right? Because my mind was living from fight or flight for so long. And I remember for months, I'm sitting in my Port Melbourne apartment, just making music. This is hardcore truth here. Making music, walking like 10Ks a day, exercising and just moving the emotions out. And then eventually when I got enough silence and I allowed myself to feel enough of the emotions that were behind the hustle, I started to access my heart, but it was scary, right? This is the thing though. When I started to access what I really wanted, I got terrified, because it's like, well, what does that mean then? Like, how can I make a living off that? How am I going to pay bills? Like the old mindset comes in and it starts to attack your vulnerability because you've started to open up. And this is not some woo-woo shit. This is literally what happens. Like if you take out the behavior and you put yourself in a position to feel the feelings that trigger that behavior, those thought patterns are still going to be there to try and to come in, right? But if the emotion isn't there to get you moving, that sucker's just like an old voice recording going on in your head. And it's your job to talk back and go, yeah, man, I hear you, but I'm not doing anything. And when that voice recording lost the emotions, the hustle voice recording lost the emotions to drive like an action, I was terrified, man. I thought there were two people in me. I'm like, here's part of me that wants to go and hustle and start a business again and push like I used to, but I'm not feeling the like the chutzpah to go and do it. And to be honest, that was a big reason why I went and started traveling, because I didn't know what the fuck to do, right? Here's some things on my heart. Like there's books, there's albums. There was like some business that I could see. It was some sort of coaching. I didn't really understand it. And that's the creative state, right? That's what I've learned to realize. Like the creative state is not understanding the path, but seeing the vision and then being able to like connect the dots, right? And I'll give you some examples in a sec, but really that after you've identified and stripped back, felt the feelings, that like the third phase I really found was just like being able to turn off the voice recorder, right? And I have found it's been a slow jet. Like, as I said, it's been 2 years and I'm still hearing it. It's dimmed down a lot now, but a big thing that I do is I acknowledge it as a voice recorder. Like I truly believe a lot of my thoughts that I have on a daily basis are whack, like they're bullshit. I don't believe half the things I think, because if I have a look at some of the things I've created in my life, they haven't come from my mind. They've come from outside. It's triggered something in me, and just my creative power in the moment has taken over and gone, Jordan, that's the thing. But whenever I've tried to think my way through things, this could be very different for a lot of people, but when I've tried to like strategize and be all hustle and plan and push, I've created dog shit, to be really honest. So the third phase of leaving that like hustle and grind culture, it was like understanding the voice recorder is crap. The voice recorder is shit. It actually doesn't have any power in driving me forward, because it's all based on the past. I did something, I felt something, it created the belief, and now the belief is saying, well, this is how you got to behave. Okay. Or I heard something, or I saw someone on a stage saying, you got to do this, and la, 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 motivating the crowd. And then everyone runs to the back and buys the fucking 20 grand course. You know, we get these beliefs from God knows where, right? But once we acknowledge the voice recorder and the emotion that drives the voice recorder is out, the voice recorder starts to dim down. And I'm okay with it being there, you know, even if the emotions come back, like I'm completely cool with it being there. I feel it, I see it. I'm like, yeah, all right, dude, like, hello, we know each other, great. Play all day, man. But I've got clarity on where I'm going. And then what I found is once I shifted through that, and that has been a very recent transition for me, like over the last 2 years. Again, this is how long I'd say for me, the part that I resisted the most was feeling the emotions, like sitting back and understanding that there was just a lot of not wanting to feel powerless, not wanting to be seen as like a pussy. Like a pussy in my mind was like not making cash, like not making big money. It's like, you're a fucking, what are you sitting on your ass for? You broke up. Like it was very judgmental, because there was a period back when I was a lot younger where I'm here sitting on a laptop trying to build a business, not knowing what I'm doing, not making money. And that's where that voice recorder started. And it's like, crack the whip. Come on, Jordan, fucking work it out. Read the sales books. Don't be a bitch. And then I had an ex-girlfriend that was really like, on my back about making money. And that's where it started. So, anyhow, if you don't resist the stages, you move through it. And really the last stage for me, what has started to come through is that once the heart starts to open up and you feel things that like really excite you to create, you create them to just create them. You create not when you feel like it, but you create to just create. There's no like, if I make this, then this is going to happen. No, it's like it's like a business that's like doomed to fail. If I create this business, then it's going to mean this, and then I'm going to have the. It's like, no, fuck off. Like that is the worst reason to create a business, because that's the jail. That's how the jail starts. It's like, if I create this business, then I'm going to mean this. Then this is what this is going to mean about my life. Even bigger jail, by the way, to break through an identity. And then if I'm walking around like Big Dick Steve, I'm going to be able to have the Lamborghini and the fucking cars and the apartment over the ocean and all that shit, right? And basically, those are just bigger jails for you to break out of.